Hello guys, today I'm going to show another project that I made using my sample pack pass. So basically the way it works, if you haven't heard already, is that on my website I am giving away basically it's called the sample pack pass. So every time you go on my website, if I add anything new, you get it completely free and you only have to pay one time. So you can get, if you only want the drums, that's fine, you can get the drum bundle, and every time I update the drum bundle, you get new drums. Same thing for everything else. And for the mega bundle, I'll update everything and you'll get all the new updates with that. So that's basically what I've been doing, and so really excited about that. Hopefully that helps you guys out. And to kind of promote it, I'm also showing you tracks I made in about an hour, just throwing stuff together using stuff out of my sample pack. So without further ado, let's play this song and we'll see how I made this. So let's go. Okay, so that is the song, and you might think, holy cow, this looks very, very complicated. What did you do? Do not worry. It is actually not that complicated. So, again, just like last project I did, I kept it super simple, and then I only have one bass and one lead every single time. I pretty much always do this. And the lead that I use always has white noise on top of it. It always adds that extra crispiness. You'll hear that. I do that in all my leads. Just really fills up the high end. You can always add the white noise in separately. That's always an option too. But I like doing the white noise with the lead, because then when you play the notes of the lead, it always has white noise on that, and you don't have to chop it out separately. If you know, you know. So let's click into this pattern and just check out what we got going on here. So this is the bass. If it plays. Oh wait, whoops, that's the wrong one. So I got that, and then this second part right here. So that's the bass pattern. It's really simple. And then I have the lead here. Okay, let's lower the reverb a little bit. There we go. I don't know why it's doing that. So that's what we get going on. So basically what's going on here is that this lead is really simple. I'm going to show you, I'm not sure what order I'll show you. I guess I'll show you guys the bass first. So the bass is literally just a sine wave. It is. That's it. It's just a sine wave. And then I added a little bit of chorus, a little bit of distortion, EQ, cut the highs, compression just to squeeze it together. And then for the second bass, shocker, also a sine wave. I added a saw wave to give it a little bit more, just of a different tone. That's literally it. I actually kept the exact same effects. It's the same patch as the one from before. I just added a little bit of one extra oscillator. For the lead, yeah, it's a square wave and a saw wave. I know, these are very complex sounds. With this one, I have chorus, distortion, EQ. Actually, also taking out the highs. I felt like they were a little bit too crispy. Then I take off the compressor, and there's also reverb. I wonder what that would sound like if I took that off. Interesting. That is so loud. So my automations are kind of off, so when I try to play things in solo, it doesn't register the automations. There's some trade-offs to doing it like this, but this is just one of the things I have to do. That way it doesn't lag. So what I think I'll do in the future is I'll just export the whole song out, and then I can just follow the MP3. That way it doesn't lag. But with this, let's go to the second lead sound here. Whoops. Let's go here. So that would be bass or DNB2. Oh wait, no, this is the other sound. So I have an LFO trigger going, and basically all this does is that it moves the level of this oscillator like up and down with the shape of this LFO. And then I literally have the exact same effects going through it. I think I used the same patch for every single one of the bass and the leads, and then I just changed the oscillators, and it just worked. It also kept it all cohesive because I'm basically starting from like very similar sounds, and I'm not moving out too far because they all kind of sound like they fit in the same thing because I'm not like I'm just kind of using the same patches and making minor changes here and there. This lead, I don't think that's the same lead. I think, is it 5? Yeah, I have the envelope goes down, so it makes more of like a plucky, and this is a like I guess it would be more of it's a square wave, but it's like squish, and then this is like almost a square wave, but it's like it's distorted sine wave, and that's the same thing here too. And again, the white noise absolutely massive here. I pitch it all the way up so that there's not very much low white noise, and then I have that going through the same thing. So that's what I got going on for the lead and the bass. Really not too complex. The only other thing I have going on here is that I have, if you look at here, I have 2 buses. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. I have 1 apparently, so I used to have it going differently. Strange. Okay, so this is where the lead goes through, and I control the reverb here. And then it goes into its own lead thing here. And I just process the lead. I have OTT, free. Valhalla Supermassive, free. Fresh Air, free. Crush, free. And actually, I'm only using that as an automation point. BitCrush, free. Delay, also free. All of these are free plugins. And then I just do a little bit of EQ here, cutting out the lows and boosting the highs, just making it punch through the mix a little bit more. And then what I do, this is key. So I have my lead and my bass actually going to 1 bus, where I absolutely just decimate the sound by just compressing. I just compress it. I have the sound goodizer, don't judge me. And I have a EQ here, just getting a little bit of the muddiness out, boosting a little bit of that sub bass, boosting the highs. And this is actually doing it with, so I shape my compression using EQ. So if you can shape the sound using EQ before it goes in compression, you'll get different tones. So you can play with that a little bit and just see kind of what it does. So that's interesting. You know what? I wonder if I can make it faster by going to here and let me do that. There we go. That should fix the lagging problem. Okay. Anyways, Baseline. This is also free. All these plugins I'm showing you are all free. The only one that's not free that I own is ROM, and I got it during actually a free like event that they were doing. So that's the only plugin I have that's not free. Everything else is free, so you can get all these plugins I use. I want to keep it easy for you guys to follow along with what I'm making and show you that you don't need to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for plugins to be a good producer. And you surely don't have to do anything illegal to be a good producer. So with that being out of the way, I use Fruity Balance for my sidechain. Not too complicated here, I just go here. And if you watched the last video I did, a lot of the stuff is going to be repeat. You even notice the drum pattern I use from this is actually the same one I used to bounce off of my other 1 hour track. That's how I was able to make these so fast, is because I used the same drums in both, and I just changed the synth sounds and was able to just make 2 completely different ideas using the same like kind of bass. But they sound like 2 completely different songs, and honestly, if I didn't tell you, I'm not even sure you would notice. But it's cool. Maybe you notice because I only have 1 kick here and then nothing, so that's kind of a unique fake out intro. So besides that, I have this kick is it's actually different than the rest of the kicks. I make this one super loud, super loud. I compress it just so hard. If I just solo everything out, it goes into the limiter like peaking out of its mind. And I do that on purpose because when you have stuff that peaks that goes into a limiter, it like pushes everything else out of the way and says like, okay, this is what you're gonna hear, and that's like the best way I can describe that. Yeah, that's it. It's cool. It's cool. Sometimes if you have things going way too many decibels high into a limiter, it can sound cool. You can remember that. So I kept the drums here fairly simple. You know, I just your kick clap. It's a house track. What is there to say? I put rides on the kick to give it a little bit of high end, like a little bit of click, and then I also do drop claps. This sample pack was worth getting. Cashmere, great sample pack. I use the drop claps because it adds also a little bit high end on the kick. You can hear like I kind of just want to solo the drums here so you guys can hear it. So without the rides and the clap, kind of boring. get the idea. It adds more energy. Again, this is just more white noise. I'm basically just adding lots of different versions of white noise onto each other over and over and over again, and then calling it a song. So I have white noise, white noise, white noise, white noise, and then white noise on my lead, and yeah, that's just a lot of white noise. And then it all gets compressed and it sounds really loud, and it's like a trick. And then everything sounds like punchy and loud, so it's just white noise. This is also white noise, so just ambient loop. I do this, it fills up space. If I take that out, it sounds kind of boring. I don't know. It like adds like almost like this imperceptible quality to the song where it's like just a little bit of width, just a little bit of something in the background. Like you can't really tell what it is. You can't even hear it. This is what it sounds like. See, I just cut out all the lows, throw it, pan it out way to the side. Same thing with all of my drums. I have them all different panned, hard left, hard right. Just kind of keeping it interesting in your ear. So you'll see like, I like how I said I have everything panned and none of this stuff is panned. Usually I have my drums and things panned, but I guess I didn't. Yeah, if I spent more time on this, I definitely would have. However, let me go back to the projects here. What happened? Okay, there we go. So yeah, so we went through the drums, went through the synthesis design. I guess I could show you guys some of the automations. So some cool automations going on here. You know, you got this is just your standard reverb automation. You got the reverb only coming in the gaps. And then I have it turned off during the sound. So you get that dry punch of the sound, and then you get the reverb in the tail end. Another cool thing I have is that I have just automating the volume of some of the sounds here, you know, just like saying, okay, I want it to be quiet here. If I take this all the way down, it's like okay, apparently it does nothing. Wait, do I have that turned off or something? I must have it turned off. I'm not sure. Maybe the automation really is just doing nothing. Regardless, let's see here. Crush is basically like a bit crusher, and it just kind of like sounds cool. I just realized like how many of these things you can actually barely hear that they're actually doing anything. I promise you they are. Yeah, it's just you add a bunch of like tiny things that you basically don't even notice, and then over time you keep adding them, and it sounds cool. Like if I were to take away all the automations, we can listen to what that sounds like. I bet it would sound terrible. Let's do that. So just take away all the automations. I'll leave sidechain in. I'll even leave the reverb too, just to prove a point. So I'll leave the reverb automations, and I'll just take away literally everything else. So we'll just listen to this and see what it sounds like. Do you notice how nothing changes? Like, it kind of just stays all monotone. And it's all good. It just doesn't really have that kind of, like, I don't know. It doesn't... You can hear the sounds like literally changing like as the song goes on. It's like really interesting. It keeps you interested to listen to. It doesn't get boring. So yeah, that's pretty much all that's going on in the drop. I try to keep it easy. I don't really try to keep it overcomplicated. If you're wondering, I don't do crazy mixing on any of my drums. Nothing. I soft clipper. That's it. It's just like nothing. Like I just take out the lows. This is the extent of my mixing. I take out the lows. That's it. I boost the highs a little bit. That's it. My master, also nothing super impressive. I put an OTT. Don't ask why. I usually don't do that, and it's honestly, I don't recommend that you do that. For some reason, it worked on this track. I left it. Fruity Convolver, this is just the reverb effect at the beginning of my song. So when you hear this, without the Convolver on, it sounds like... That's all that's doing. Fresh Air, again, just boosting all the highs. I love Fresh Air so much. I highly recommend you get it. Patcher. Patcher's awesome. I use this. Frank Pohl, he released a bunch of free plugins that you can get that are all inside of Patcher. So Oxford Inflator, remade in Patcher. I love it. So good. It is fantastic. So this is a great alternative to Oxford Inflator. And then this is just my mid-side EQ, and I have this, you can make this, it's super easy. Just the frequency splitter. These are the options on that, and you just hook it up to a Fruity Parametric EQ on both sides and then connect it to the out. It's like the simplest Patcher preset ever. You make this, you can actually control the mid frequencies and the side frequencies separately with two different EQs. And you can, as long as you keep it on linear phase on both of them, then you can use this on your master, and you can make some stereo imaging changes on your master. So that's what I do. And then I have a soft clipper, and this is my limiter because I didn't pay for one, so I'm using a soft clipper on all my songs right now. And it's worked so far. I mean, obviously it's not ideal. I would like Pro L2 again, but that's where we're at. So we're gonna use this now, and it's working. It sounds good. And honestly, if I didn't tell you I was using this, you probably wouldn't have even known. So it works as long as you just compress everything right. You can get it to sound nice. Don't be afraid to distort things too much, for sure. You can make things a lot louder when you have saturation and distortion with them, for sure. So yeah, there's not really too much to this. I could show you the intro, but really it's a cymatic drum loop with a bass and a lead. It's like, and all this is, it's literally just a 3x oscillator playing I don't know what I just said, oscillator. It's literally just a square wave going to track 12, which has a delay on it. That's it. That's all that's going on there. And then I put a drum loop under it because I didn't have much time and I just wanted to make something cool. And then this 808 pattern, super easy. And it's just the same bass I use in the drop too. So it's really, really simple. This is the... That's the chords I made, so... And then the drum loop. I'm trying to just like kind of fill it in now because there's like not too much to show. I try to keep things like really simple, so it's like sometimes it's hard to show like a lot of what you do. I guess what I could do is I could just do a 1 hour challenge. You guys could see me make it from start to finish. That might be pretty cool. So we'll see if I do that. But not too much going on really. So yeah, and there are some automations that turned off because it just didn't sound good. So that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, the sample pack is on sale right now. You can go in the link in the description and check that out. Also, I have my Patreon, which I do one-on-one personal courses, and I also can give you feedback on your tracks if you can't make quite a big investment for personal courses. Totally get that. And anyways, I hope that this helps you and that you learn something. And also, let's pull this out. The Bible verse of the day. Seek the Lord and his strength. Seek his presence continually. Just when it's easy to kind of like lose sight of what's important in life, and so just make sure that you're focusing first your day. I like to do this is just start off your day with some quiet time, some prayers, some just reading your Bible, and just asking God what you should do each day. And starting off your day like that, I think it really sets it on a good course. I've noticed that days that you get on your phone first and days that you get on your Bible first, they have drastically impact the way that your day goes. That's just from my personal experience, obviously. Just test out yourself and see if it's helpful to you. And as always, just have a great day. See ya.